Today, we're talking about 4 ways to access your home equity. Whether you're looking to renovate your home, pay for an education, or invest in a new opportunity, you'll learn about 4 powerful options to tap into your home equity safely and legally. And I'll even break down the pros and cons of each option and share my expert opinion on which might be the best fit for you. By the way, I'm Sam Kwak, a certified financial education instructor, serial entrepreneur, and a real estate investor. And over the last decade, my brother and I have been teaching concepts and strategies in finance and real estate. We helped thousands of clients to take control of their financial future through our company Accelerated Strategies. So by the end of this video, I guarantee that you'll walk away with at least one option that can help you fit your needs and help you make a better financial decision. So let's dive right in. The first option is a home equity loan, not to be confused with a home equity line of credit, which I'll cover in just one sec. A home equity loan allows you to borrow a lump sum money against the equity of your home, which you then repay over a fixed term, typically 5 to 15 years with a fixed interest rate. Now, the one big advantage is predictability. Since the interest rate is fixed, your monthly payments stay the same, making it easier for you to budget. It's also great for one-time expenses like a home renovation or paying off high interest debt because you'll get all the money up front. But on the downside, you're taking on a second mortgage, which means that if you can't make the payments, you risk losing your home through a foreclosure. Also, the approval process can be strict. You'll need good credit and enough equity in your home to qualify. And don't forget about the closing costs, which can add up to 2 to 5% of the loan amount. Now, in my opinion, I like home equity loans for people who need a specific amount of money for a one-time expense and prefer the stability of a fixed payment every single month. But if you're looking for something more flexible, then the next option might be a better fit for you. Next up is the home equity line of credit, also known as a HELOC. Now, this is one of my favorite options, and it's a big part of what we teach here at Accelerated Strategies. A HELOC works like a credit card. You get approved for a certain credit limit based on your home equity, and you can draw money as needed during a draw period, typically 5 to 10 years. And at the end of the draw period, you can always extend the draw period by simply reapplying. And you only pay interest on what you borrow, and the interest rate is typically variable. Now, the upside to all this is that the flexibility is a huge plus. You can borrow, repay, borrow again as needed, which makes it great for ongoing expenses like multi-year renovation or even as an emergency fund. In fact, here at Accelerated Strategies, we also use HELOCs for accelerated banking, a strategy that could help you pay off your mortgage faster by reducing interest over time. Now, you can learn more about this concept in the video description down below. I'll leave a link for a separate video where you can learn more about this. Now, on the flip side, the variable interest rate can be a drawback. If the rates go up, so will your payments, which can catch some people off guard. Additionally, like a home equity loan, your home is on the line if you can't repay, and sometimes there are often annual fees or early closure fees to watch out for. Now, in my personal opinion, I'm a huge fan of HELOCs because of their versatility, especially if you're disciplined with your finances. They are a powerful tool for strategy like accelerated banking, but you need to be comfortable with the variable rates and have a solid plan for repayment. Also, a reason why a HELOC is one of my favorites is because they're kind of like a Swiss Army knife in the sense that there's a wide applications for what you can do with them. So in my opinion, I believe that every disciplined homeowner should have a HELOC opened, not only to pay off some of the other debts that they may have, but it's a great emergency backup as well. The third option is a home equity agreement, sometimes called a home equity investment or home equity co-sharing. This is a rather newer option where you sell a portion of your home's future equity to an investor or a company in exchange for cash today. So instead of monthly payments that you have to make every single month, the company gets a share of your home's appreciation when you either sell it or you can buy them out after a set period, usually 10 to 30 years. Now, I did make a separate video where I go deeper into this topic, so definitely check that out if you want to learn more about home equity agreements. So some of the biggest advantage when it comes to the home equity agreement is that there is no monthly payments, which can be a huge relief if you're on a tight budget. It's also easier to qualify for than a loan or a HELOC because your credit score isn't a big factor. Rather, they're more interested in your home's value and its potential for future appreciation. Now, the downside is that you're giving up a chunk of your home's future appreciation, which can be very costly if your home's value skyrockets in the next 5 to 10 years. So, for example, if your home appreciates by $200,000, you might owe the investor a big portion of that, even if you only took out $50,000. Also, there are upfront fees and the contracts can be complex, so you'll definitely want to read the fine prints and make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into. Now, my opinion is that home equity agreements can work for people who need cash now and can't afford the monthly payments every single month, but I am cautious about them. You're essentially betting against your home's future value, and that can be a very risky trade-off. I would personally only consider this option if other options like a HELOC or HE loan aren't available to you. Finally, let's go and talk about the cash out refinance, which is a more traditional form of accessing your equity. This is where you'll refinance your existing mortgage for a larger amount than what you currently owe, and you take the difference in cash. For example, if your home is worth $400,000 and you owe $200,000, you might refinance for $300,000 and pocket the $100,000 difference. Now, the one advantage is that if you're replacing your old mortgage with a new one, often at a lower interest rate, you might actually be able to save a little bit of money. You also get a large lump sum cash, which can be useful for big expenses like paying off debt or funding an investment. Plus, the interest rate is usually fixed, so your payments are also predictable as well. Now, the downside is that you're resetting your mortgage term, say back to 30 years, which means you might end up actually paying more interest over the life of the loan. You also probably end up paying closing costs, which can be 2 to 6% of the loan amount, and you're increasing your overall debt. And like the other options, your home is at risk if you can't make the payments every single month. Now, in my personal opinion, I think a cash out refinance makes sense if you can secure a lower interest rate and have a clear plan for the cash, like investing in another property that would generate income. But if you're just using that money for discretionary spending, like a vacation, I'd be cautious and you don't want to extend your mortgage term for something that isn't going to build long-term value and wealth. And to be really frank with you, this is my least favorite way to access equity because you don't have the same flexibility as a HELOC, for example. But I will say that it does have a place if you're looking for one simple payment every single month and if you can secure a lower interest rate than what you currently have. So there you have it. 4 ways to access your home equity: a home equity loan, a home equity line of credit, a home equity agreement, also known as a home equity co-sharing, and a cash out refinance. Each option has its pros and cons, and the best choice depends on what your financial situation, goals, and risk tolerance looks like. So if you found this video to be helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more financial education content, and let me know in the comments which option are you considering for accessing your home equity. I'll see you in the next video.